How to pick the right gear when traveling like a wedding or portrait photographer. I made a video a few weeks ago about how to pick the right gear when you travel as a landscape photographer. And this is the second part of that series of videos because as you all know, if you are a wedding or a portrait photographer or a landscape photographer, you need a very different type of gear. So let's talk a little bit about this. Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mathe from Blue Sky Photography, and today I'd like to talk to you about the topic how to pick the right gear when you travel as a portrait or wedding photographer. I have to tell you that this is a good topic because I have a lot of experience in it, because I am a portrait and wedding photographer. So I traveled a lot as well, with airplanes and car and buses and all kind of, what you can imagine. So I have experience in this topic, so let's talk a little bit about how to pick your gear, what to pick, when you want to travel light, but in the same time you must have all the gear you need on a photo shoot. Now, as you know, I made this video a few weeks ago, and that video was about the landscape photographers if you travel like a landscape photographer. Now we talk about the wedding or portrait photographers because if you are a wedding or portrait photographer and you have to travel, you have to choose your gear carefully because it is different, I mean, you need some different stuff in it. Now, I did split this topic in a few videos because otherwise the video would be too long, if I would speak in one video about all this. So let's see what I would suggest to bring with you when you travel as a portrait or wedding photographer. Now, tip number one. Camera bodies, at least two. I would suggest to choose your camera body carefully. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people will say that, yeah, you don't need dual SD card slot, blah, blah, blah. I know. Listen to me. You need. If you are a wedding or portrait photographer, you need camera bodies with dual SD card slot. And I tell you why. Weddings are the only, well, I would say one of the few photo shoots. Which one you cannot reproduce? I mean, obviously there are a few others, like, I don't know. There are, but not too many. And wedding is one of the most important photo shoot, which one you cannot reproduce. I mean, if you lose those images, you are done. And I tell you, it can be the end of your photographic career. They can sue you. They can sue your house in worse situations. And I tell you something, it happened in the United States that a photographer got sued by a person who actually they knew each other from childhood. And he did the wedding for them, and they told him at the end of the wedding, oh, would you give us the raw files and then we will edit just so we have smaller cost, and we will edit the photos and he was so stupid that he gave the raw files to them and they sued him. And it was this photographer, Gary Fong, probably he has a YouTube channel, and he started a website. And he started to raise money to help this photographer. And he succeeds to raise enough money to hire a lawyer, a solicitor, for this photographer. And with many court cases and fights, and finally he got out of this and he didn't lose his house and everything. Because I tell you, people can be horrible. And I tell you, it is very, very important. I cannot emphasize how important it is if you are a wedding photographer to have camera bodies with dual SD card slots. Again, at least two camera bodies, because even if you have one camera body dual SD card slot, but the camera got damaged, what you do like? You need backup. You need backup from your camera body, from your lenses. You need backup from everything. Cards, you need backup. You need backup for batteries, everything. Okay, so tip number two, fastest lenses with the right focal length. Now, why do I say fastest lenses with the right focal length? because you have to know how is your shooting style on weddings. Now, again, many photographers will say, I shoot only with primes. The other one, I shoot only with zooms. That's why I say you have to know your style. If you are a photojournalistic type of wedding photographer, then you need long zooms, like 70 to 200. And you need also a 24-70, or you need some primes, you know. If you are a prime shooter, then you will need 3-4 primes. You know, you need a wide angle, like I don't know, 16 millimeter or 14 millimeter, or you need a zoom 16 to 24, or you need if you are like completely prime shooter, you need a wide angle, you need a normal lens, and you need a telephoto lens at least, and a macro lens. So what I would suggest, if you are a prime shooter, you would need 16 millimeter or 18 millimeter, and then you would need 35 millimeter. That's what I would use, 35 millimeter, and then I would use an 85 and 135, and a macro lens. So this is and why I say the fastest lenses, because in weddings you can get yourself in a situation where you are in dim light, and sometimes you want to keep that you want to keep that mood, you know, like what the lights give, you know, like, I mean, the natural mood of the scenery, you know. You don't want to change. If you put flash in it, you will change the mood of the picture, you know. So you want to keep it, and then you need fast lenses so you can go down with your shutter speed, you know. You can go up with your shutter speed, and you can keep your ISO down. So that's why you need fast lenses. Now, lights, and this is, guys, this is very important again. At least 2 speed lights with a trigger so you can use off camera, or small LED lights. I would suggest both, you know, like 2 flashes and one or 2 small video lights. I bring both. I bring video lights, I bring flash. In some situations I use video lights, in some situations I use flash. But you need at least the flashes, you know, at least 2 flashes with triggers so you can use it off camera. Tip number 4. Monopod, small but strong. Now, many photographers will say, no, I do handheld. Okay, that's not a problem. But many times you need the monopod because you need that extra stability. Because you are in a dim light scenery, you know, like in, I don't know, in a restaurant or wherever they do the reception. And the light will be very poor, the lighting. And you don't want to add, like I said, you want to keep that night mood, you know, in the picture. You don't want to add flash to it, so you need the monopod. I would suggest to bring a small but sturdy monopod, and I have a video about this kind of monopod, small monopods. I will place a card up here so you can see the video I'm talking about, and you can see that monopod is not really expensive, and it's very small. It's like this big when you close down, but it's pretty high when you open up, you know, and it's very lightweight, but in the same time it's sturdy. So you need a monopod, I would say, definitely. Tip number 5. Extra memory cards. Like I said, you need backup, you need extra memory cards. You plan to make X amount of photos, but in the same time you might make some more, and then you need some memory cards just to make sure, you know. Tip number 6, extra battery. Again, I shoot with Nikon, so Nikon is very good on battery life. It depends on what kind of camera system you are into, and you have to choose how many batteries you bring with me. If I bring with me 2 batteries with the Nikon, I'm generally okay, because with 1 battery I can shoot 700 photos, no problem. So if I bring 2 batteries, you know, that's okay. That's 1,400 photos with 1 camera. That's plenty enough, you know. So if I have 2 cameras, I don't shoot that much of photos on a wedding. Again, what I do usually, many people, they will say, I will give you 1,000 photos. I would say it's nonsense. I will give to my clients, I will give 600 or 500 photos, but all the 500, they are nice photos and well exposed, and not like I give candid shots, you know, like 500 or 600. You can do that with your mobile phone, you know. Why do you hire a photographer for that? Anyway, that's only my opinion. Maybe others, they think differently. That's only my opinion. So, tip number 7, color gel for your speed lights. And guys, nobody really talks about this. color gels. It is very important to have on a wedding, or not only on a wedding, on a situation when you shoot again where there are many lights in the photo, you know, and you can have different color balance, you know, on your photos, because maybe in the back you have some warm light, and if you add some flash, you know, you will have cool light in the front where the flash fires. So you can have two kind of color balance in your white balance in your photos, and you cannot change it, because if you change the white balance to favor the flashlight, then you will make the backlight very ugly. And if you change the white balance to favorize the backlight, then you will make your flash look ugly. So that's why you need color gel, and you need that 100%. I mean, no exception. And nobody is really talking about this. I tell you, I don't know why, but that's the situation. So you need, tip number 7, you need color gel for your spade lights. Tip number 8, gray card. Now, maybe many photographers will say, yes, I set my white balance through the camera, blah, blah, blah. After that in Lightroom, blah, blah, blah. Okay, like I said, I am that type of photographer who wants to get the shot right. Get it right in the camera, guys. Don't say that I will do it in post-processing. No, get it right in the camera. And you need a gray card. Sometimes you have to use it. If you want to see the video about the gray card, I will make I will place a card up here so you can see the video about the gray card and why it is important, the gray card. So these are the tips I would suggest you to bring with you if you travel and you cannot bring whatever you want. Obviously, if you go by car or something, you can bring whatever you want, so this video is useless then, because this is just the bare minimum what you need to have with you on a wedding. And I would say that it is very, very important. Guys, it happened with me many times that I forgot something, and it's very important to make a check sheet. I call it check sheet, where you write all the gears, especially for traveling, or when you travel, you know, just with your car, then it's a different check sheet where you can make a list of all the things, and then when you pack your things, you take the check sheet and you just tick, 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 and then you're 100%, you don't forget anything at home. Because if you forget something at home, you can get in big trouble after that, I can tell you. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope that you could learn something from it. If you have some other opinion, if you have some other idea, you know, or opinion, and if you think that I forgot something out of this video, please leave a comment down below and share with us, because we would like to learn, you know, and that's why I make these videos, to help others to learn and not to make as many mistakes as I did when I was a younger photographer. So if you think that I forgot something, please leave a comment down below, or if you want to add something to this video. And thanks for your support, and please like and subscribe if you like my videos, to see many others in the future coming. So I wish you a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.